Listening to The Sports Nuts.
And good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Sports Corner Show. My name, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of the Sports Corner Show every Tuesday, 4 o'clock p.m. right here on your social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter X, and we're on the Sports Nuts Network as well, and KFCE Radio 95.5 KFCE Radio in Terrell, Texas. We are live, and TigerNation.live all across several states and also across the world. We are in several foreign countries that I wanted to let everyone know as well. If you're listening in the Hawaii Sports Network, aloha to everyone in Hawaii and our Hawaiian friends there as well. All right. Also, we have a guest coming up real shortly here. Ray Fittipaldo from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette covers the Pittsburgh Steelers. Some breaking news today. And before I start my rant off, I want to say good afternoon to Smokin Jim Frazier. Good afternoon, Smokin Jim.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. I'm ready for this one.
All right. Smokin Jim, as you know, we have our good friend Ray Fittipaldo coming on later on at 5 o'clock. We have Wrestle Talk coming up. The fallout from the Elimination Chamber. Where do you see this? You're going to love it. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about at 5 o'clock today. The fallout from Elimination Chamber, last night's Raw, and a whole lot more on Wrestle Talk coming up at 5 o'clock. Also here on your social media platforms. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our platforms as well. And please don't forget to do that. Like and subscribe. And also please help us get where we need to be in our goals as far as subscribing on YouTube. All right, let me start with Ralph's rant. Ralph's rant today is I was right and I called it. And I called out Pat Bostic. I called out the athletic department at Pitt. And it happened today. Today is the day that Tori Lordy got fired today. All right. The former women's basketball coach at Pitt, Tori Lordy, got fired today. All right. He should have been fired as soon as his former players decided to file a lawsuit. And here's the kicker of them all. Pitt puts a statement out there. Well, he was fired because of poor play. No, he wasn't, Pitt. He was fired because of a lawsuit that some former players had come across with him. And guess what? Fired. And that's my rant for today. And I hope Jeff Capel's next. Smokin Jim's wisdom.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. All along, I've always said the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go for Ty Simpson, a quarterback out of Alabama. Even though he's not my number one rated quarterback, my number one rated quarterback, I've been saying for a couple of months, has been Talon Green from Arkansas, originally from Boise.
Right.
But I compared Ty Simpson at times to Joe Montana. Both of them were 6'2". Joe was 200 pounds. Simpson's about 210 pounds. Joe Montana only didn't start high school football at Ringgold until his junior year. Of course, he was parade All-American as a senior, but he's more of a basketball player, a baseball player in high school. Joe Montana went to Notre Dame, and at that time you could not play as a freshman, so he redshirted. Then he separated his shoulder 1 year, had to miss a whole year. Began his junior year in 1977 as a third string quarterback. Two of the quarterbacks ahead of him got hurt. So he went in and won the national championship and played equally as well as a senior. So he only had a year and a half experience in college football. Ty Simpson, same thing. He was a Tennessee Gatorade High School Player of the Year. He won his state championship in the state of Tennessee. His dad is a 20-year and counting head football coach, college football coach. He rode the bench at Alabama until his senior year, and he went out and played well. 3,500 yards passing, 28 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. So there's a lot of similarities. If you're looking for your first round draft choice here in Pittsburgh, between Ty Simpson and the legendary Joe Montana.
All right, Smokin' Jim, thank you for your Smokin' Jim's wisdom. Always on top of that. Ty Simpson has been slated across the national perspective as far as the, for Ty Simpson landing to the Steelers. I want to thank Italy here. We have some people from Italy tuning in. Thank you as well for tuning in Italy. So there you go. All right, let's get to our special guest, Ray Fittipaldo from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Ray, welcome to the program. How are you today? Ray, we can't hear you. You have no volume. You have to turn your volume up.
Good to be with you guys. You got me?
Now. I can hear you now.
All right. Good to be with you.
All right. Same here, Ray. Ray, I've been hearing from all the NFL networks and all the other networks that Ty Simpson could fall to the Steelers and that the Steelers were looking at him at the combine at the quarterback position. Now, I watched the quarterback tryouts at the combine, and I was impressed with the Green kid that Smokin' Jim talked about, and I was impressed with Ty Simpson. But again, that's just throwing the guys in shorts. That's not the actual game. But I was still impressed with what I saw. Ray, what's going on with the Steeler quarterback situation? And is Aaron Rodgers coming back, or what's going on? When's the ultimatum for him?
Yeah, well, let's talk about Rodgers first. They could find out this week, Ralph, or they could find out over the weekend. The Steelers expect to know before free agency begins if Rodgers is going to return for the 26th season or if he's going to retire. So that's the news on Rodgers. As far as Ty Simpson goes, and, I listened to Smokin' Jim's wisdom there. Love the history lesson on Joe. That was awesome. The one difference I would point out, maybe, Smokin' Jim, is Joe Montana was a third-round pick, and I think if the Steelers could get Ty Simpson on day 2, I think they would be much more comfortable with that. I just think they worry about taking another quarterback at that portion of the first round, just a few years removed from taking Kenny Pickett. We all know how that Pickett pick worked out. Not very good, and I just think there's a lot of hesitancy to maybe go down that road again with another quarterback who, as you pointed out, doesn't have a lot of starting experience on his resume.
Let me ask real quick, Ray, before I ask Smokin' Jim for a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a different coaching scenario here. So let me ask you this: if they were to take Ty Simpson and or Green from Arkansas, I wouldn't be so worried about it because you got a better coaching staff now. You got Mike McCarthy, you got the offensive coordinator, and then you have Mike Arthur still here as a quarterbacks coach.
Right.
All right, you got three guys who could really get this quarterback. So if we do get somebody in the third or fourth round, I wouldn't be concerned about this quarterback developing because I think with the staff that they have now, I believe that could happen.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think that's the portion
because they didn't have that staff when Kenny Pickett was drafted. You had, Matt Canada. You had, Mike Sullivan. I'll give credit for. He's a good quarterbacks coach, but I'm talking about offensive scheme and everything else.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's part of the reason Mike McCarthy was hired. He's done a good job with quarterbacks throughout his career, whether it's been Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, many backups along the way who are, still in the league working in some capacity. Tom Arth is one of them. He was a backup early on in his career in Green Bay. I think that's why the Steelers hired him. And I think you're right. If they are going to take a quarterback in this draft, I don't think it's going to be first round. I do think maybe day two. Listen, they got 5 picks in the top 100. Use one of those picks on a quarterback that you think you can develop along with Will Howard, because they also are very high on Will Howard as well.
Yeah, I see our quarterback room being pretty decent, even with or without Aaron Rodgers. All right. Smokin' Jim, go ahead with your question for Ray.
Hey, thanks, Ray. Hey, listen, coming into this year, everybody was saying this was a down year for the draft. Now it's looking like it might be the most athletic year from top to bottom that the NFL's ever seen. Yeah. There's so many options on offense, but my number one player on my board is Dylan Thieneman from Oregon. If he's there, he reminds me of Pat Tillman and Adam Archuleta. If he's there and he's a tackling machine, if he's available at 21, do you think the Steelers might pull the trigger on him?
Man, I might run to the podium, Smokin' Jim. We are on the same wavelength. I'm so glad you brought this up, because I was asked in my chat today about Caleb Downs. And listen, Caleb Downs is a really good player, has a really high floor just because he's experienced and he's done it at a high level. But he doesn't have elite traits, right? Well, you look at Thieneman. Thieneman ran a 4.37. He's an explosive athlete. And I think if you're going to take a defensive back in the first round, I think you bet on the traits. And, it's just not his combine performance. You go watch Oregon games of him last year. Really good player. I mean, he is decisive. He runs to the ball. He hits hard. Great tackler, as you mentioned. Smokin' Jim, we're seeing the draft the right way here. I think I'm very impressed with you picking up on that as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's I want to thank everybody who's tuning in today on our platforms here on YouTube, Facebook, and the Twitter X platforms, also on the Kick Network. And I want to tell everybody thank you for that, and those tuning in on Facebook and also on the YouTube channels as well. We're on the Sports Nuts Network here on Sports Corner and Wrestle Talk coming up at 5:00. All right, let's get into some more stuff here with the Steelers. Ray, what direction do you see the Steelers going? Wide receiver, safety, corner. What are we looking at here? Line.
Yeah, I think those are the 3 possibilities in round 1: receiver or defensive back, safety or corner. We just talked about the safety, so let's talk about the receivers. I'm a little bit concerned about Carnell Tate running a 4.52. I think if you're going to be the top receiver in any draft, I think you have to run faster than that. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be a good NFL player. I mean, Antonio Brown ran a similar time, and he turned out to be one of the best receivers of his generation. But he was taken in the 6th round. And I think usually when you're a first-round pick, you run better than in the low 4.5s. So that's a little bit concerning for me. I still think Jordan Tyson is in play at 21. He's from Arizona State, high character guy. I don't think you get a lot of the receiver diva stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need that anymore. Yeah.
No, that the Steelers are done with that. So, I'm kind of leaning toward Jordan Tyson, but they got Denzel Boston, who would be a possibility. Makai Lemon of USC might be a possibility if he is still there.
Does he slide that for a Lemon? Because I heard he could go into somewhere.
Yeah, I mean he's generally guarded as a top 15 player, but
okay.
Usually if you're drafting the top 10 guys, you're usually taking a quarterback, a left tackle, defensive line. Those are the edge rusher. Those are the premium positions you're taking top 10 or top 15. So, I think there's 4 receivers in this draft, who we have mentioned as the top tier of guys. I would be surprised if one of those guys did not fall to the Steelers at 21.
All right, Smokin' Jim, any questions for Ray?
Hey, great job, Ray. There's so many. Every year is deep with receivers. Yeah, I tell you, everybody know I love Malachi Fields. That 4.6 didn't help him at all.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, 2 other guys that I like that don't get too much respect. Bryce Lance from North Dakota State, Trey Lance's brother, is a freak of nature. And Tad Hurst from Georgia State, 6'4", 206 pounds, bounces off of tacklers like John Stallworth. Do you think the Steelers may pick up a second and maybe a third receiver? Draft like 2 or 3 receivers out of this draft.
Yeah, listen, it's not unusual for the Steelers to take 2 receivers in the same draft. They just did it a couple of years ago with Pickens and Calvin Austin. I remember 2010. They got Emmanuel Sanders in the 3rd round.
Yeah, I remember that.
AB came in the 6th round. So they have done it before. And as you mentioned, Jim, it's a really deep receivers draft. I mean, I think Daniel Jeremiah from the NFL Network had 20 receivers among his top 100 picks.
Wow.
I mean, that's just mind-boggling to me that the college game is, producing such quality players, basically top 3-round picks, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round. All these guys are going to be flying off the board. So, maybe you take one in round 1, maybe round 2 for the Steelers. Then the nice thing this year is you have 3 third-round picks if you don't trade any of them. So you could use a 1st and a 3rd, a 2nd and a 3rd on receivers, and I wouldn't bat an eye at that. I think it's a big need for this football team. Basically, right now you got DK Metcalf and Roman Wilson under contract, and that's it. You got to go out and find some playmakers.
Yeah, you do. And I want to say this. Remember when the Ravens, Ray, drafted, they had 4 third-round picks and 4 fourth-round picks or something, or 3 of them in the Kenny Pickett draft? And they got Travis Jones, they got Mike Falala, they got all those folks.
Yeah.
All within that realm of those picks. So if the Steelers have 3, 4 third-round picks, I'd use them all. I wouldn't trade none of them, because that's basically, you can find some really good talent in the 3rd and 4th round. I mean, you really can.
Yeah, absolutely. You are right. The one thing you have to watch for in this draft, I don't know that they're going to trade up, use the picks to trade up.
Right.
Next year's draft is supposed to be really, really good, especially a quarterback. He might try to trade some of these picks this year to get capital for next year so he can position himself to maybe get that quarterback next year. But, that's for down the road. We can talk about that closer to the draft. But I'm with you, Ralph. Use those mid-round picks. That's where you find starters, contributors, guys who can help your football team.
Yeah, with this new special teams coach, Ray, are they actively going out looking for a decent returner? Because we haven't had a really good one in a while. I mean, I'm talking somebody who can make things happen.
Yeah, I mean, the kickoff return game is so. I'm still not used to
the rules. That's what that's the kicker of them all. These stupid rules that they have, the way they set this up. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tackle somebody on the 10-yard line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know how you guys feel, but if Devin Hester was playing today, would he be the returner he was in this format? Like, I
No, I don't think so.
I
No.
don't think
Or how
so.
about Desmond Howard?
Right.
He
Yeah,
was
same
a good
thing.
kick returner. Yeah, somebody like him.
So
You know.
maybe you just kind of concentrate on getting a receiver who's also a good punt returner. Maybe you can make up some ground in the punt return game. I just don't think there's a lot of room where you say, hey, we're going to take advantage of these kickoff roles. I think it's more geared toward, teams either kicking it out of the end zone, starting on the 35, or teams trying to pin you deep and, trying to tackle you at the 15 or 20-yard line.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
don't.
think
I
there's a
don't
lot of
see
room
this.
for
I
growth.
don't see Boswell doing that too often with the kick. But I mean, the punt. To pin somebody with a punt like a coffin corner or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That works out. But yeah, I was just curious about special teams. I'm going to ask you one more question, Ray, and then we'll go to Smokin' Jim before I lose track. Roderick Jones, he's having neck fusion surgery. Where are the Steelers going with him on this? And number two, are they going to finally sign a free agent number 2 receiver, or are we going to be the guessing game like we did last year?
Yeah, well, Jones had the surgery back in December, so
Okay.
he is recovering. They don't have a timeline for his return, which
That's hard to recover from because I know a couple professional wrestlers that were out for months because
yeah,
of that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Almost a year or more. So it
yeah.
all depends.
So we'll see how that looks in the summertime. I don't think we're going to have a lot of updates between now and July, so that's going to be
Right.
a fluid situation. And then I'm sorry, Ralph, what was your other question?
My other question was number 2 receiver.
Yeah,
Are they looking at free agency this year so they don't have egg on their face?
yeah.
What
I,
do they do
I
with
would
that?
not be shocked if they either signed a free agent receiver or make another trade. And I wouldn't use premium draft capital like I did last year for DK Metcalf, but you could certainly maybe use one of those third round picks, go out and get a receiver who is maybe on the market. So yeah, either a trade or a free agent move. I would expect that in addition to drafting 2 guys in the draft as well.
All right, Smokin' Jim, questions for Ray.
Hey, Ray, I wish I had some stock in the Style brothers for Ohio State. I don't know if I seen 2 more athletic brothers coming out in the same draft. But my question is, General Manager Omar Khan did not grade very well, according to the latest stats from the NFL. Did that surprise you at all?
No, I don't put a lot of stock into like players grading GMs because maybe they're sore about not getting the contract they wanted, or some other grievance that they have with the team. And I think grading a general manager honestly is one thing that maybe the media should do, and the players. I don't know that their opinions matter all that much. I mean,
Right.
Omar answers to Art Rooney. He doesn't answer to Aaron Rodgers or Cam Hayward or
Yeah.
DK Metcalf. He basically answers to Art Rooney, and that's it. So I get the field stuff. Like I think that's a valid criticism that field surface at Acrisure is bad. The facility on the south side has to be upgraded, or more likely they're going to move out of there within the next couple of years. I get that. I get why they are low in those grades, but in terms of like grading coaches or grading GMs, I think that's something the players should stay out of.
Well, the PA Association today just gave the Steelers janitorial staff a grade of D. So so the janitorial staff's in trouble too. So there you go. I had to add that, man. That's funny because but it's embarrassing though that the Steelers facilities are like this. I mean, if the players are upset, my question is, are they going to sell the building to Pitt, or is Pitt just going to take it over if they leave?
Well,
and if they do leave, where are they going? I mean, the Steelers.
The Steelers, that lease is up down there, I think, in 2029 or 2030.
Okay.
So the Steelers can move out at that time. I'm sure if they wanted to buy their way out before then, they could do that. I think Pitt would be happy with keeping that facility. You have 4 practice fields there. That's more than enough for them. They could host camps there. They can make use of that. And then it would be up to them to get a sponsor, because I think originally Dan Rooney lined up UPMC as the sponsor.
Right.
Maybe Pitt would have to get another sponsor, or re-up with UPMC. But I think the Steelers must get a new facility. They need one. They kind of need to get up with the times here and be like every other NFL team.
All right. Any further questions for Ray, Smokin' Jim?
No, great job, Ray. Appreciate you coming on, sir.
Yes, always. Ray Fittipaldo, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. I think May the 3rd's coming up in a few months here. He'll be going away unless the Hoffman family buys the Post-Gazette, and I'm hoping and praying they do, or somebody buys them, so.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. That's it, Ray. That's all you can do, That's something that's out of everyone else's control. But I hope and pray somebody buys the Post-Gazette so you can keep your job there and everything else. So I hope that happens. So,
all right. Hey, Smokin' Jim, enjoy that Dylan Thieneman tape, man.
Yeah, there you
go.
Oh,
my man, Ray.
All right. Ray Fittipaldo, thank you.
See
Have
you guys.
yourself a great day. Thank you very much. Ray Fittipaldo, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Always great insight with Ray. He was on with myself, Brian Pettit, and Pensman Sports on Saturday. And
How was that? How was that?
Oh, it was great. He come on to talk a little bit about the Steelers and what he saw at the Combine, because I didn't know this, but he was only able to be at the Combine for that first week. I guess the Post-Gazette only pays for them to be there for a week, so he ended up going back home. So, but he was only there for that first week, so he didn't get to see.
Well, it's only 4 days.
Yeah,
it's only 4 days.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah,
they must have sent him up for a day.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. I don't know.
For the first day.
I don't know how that works.
Because
I don't have that luxury.
Well, the media, the athletic events start on Thursday, but the media interviews are Wednesday with the GMs and stuff like that. Right. So they interviewed Omar. So they were probably up there for like maybe Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, I saw Omar Khan on a national show. They were interviewing him about McCarthy.
But you can always come out your own pocket. You can always come out your own pocket if you want to stay. Yeah,
that's true too. But with the way the Post-Gazette is right now, I wouldn't be spending money on my own pocket. You know what I mean? I mean, I got nothing against the Post-Gazette, but I'm just frustrated that this is going down. And our good friends in the sports department, I've even had some of the other reporters on my regular shows and stuff like that. It's disgusting the way this whole situation with the Post-Gazette. But we're not going to talk about that here today. All right, Smokin' Jim. Steelers, you got your information from Ray Fittipaldo about what's going on with the Steelers. Any final thoughts here before we move on?
I tell you what, man, Ray's the absolute best, man, and he just brings the information like nobody else, particularly for our show. And hopefully the Pittsburgh Steelers won't reach. I'm a firm believer in taking the best available player. That was Chuck Noll's philosophy, and it worked out pretty well for him. And there's so many receivers, man. I know they're hard up for receiver because they haven't they blew it the last couple of years, and George Pickens put it right in their face when he went to Dallas, man, and then just turned into the best receiver in all of football. So they need to do something near the top of the draft to satisfy the fans at the receiver position, but there's no guarantee, man. I like Jordan Tyson, but don't forget he got a history of injuries.
Yes,
soft tissue injuries. So,
right.
Do you take a chance? Yeah, he got a good attitude.
And I told everybody about DeMarvin Llewellyn and his soft tissue injury. Did I not?
Yes, you did.
Did I not point that out?
Yes, you did.
And the Steelers had to eat it. So I mean, and that's what's going on right now. Smokin' Jim, we're going to work on today. We're going to talk about wide receivers on Saturday on our Sports Corner radio show. We're going to talk about free agent wide receivers available. We're going to do that on the Sports Corner radio show Saturday, 2:00 on 1250 AM. The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial. with me, Ralph Williams, Smokin, Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, and Luther Dupree. We're going to go over free agent wide receivers and also drafted wide receivers that are in the draft. We'll talk about that. But today, because we're doing that Saturday, we're going to talk about tight ends, Smokin' Jim. Steelers really don't need a tight end, but, you know, it wouldn't help to have one, an extra one here or there. The best one in the draft, according to what I'm seeing here, is Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon. They also said Vanderbilt's Eli Stowers and Ohio State's Max Clare. Those are the three right now. And there's some notable prospects: Oscar Dapp from Georgia, Lake McRae from USC, and Justin Jolly from NC State. So what's your thoughts on these tight ends in the draft?
It's a good year for tight ends, man, especially the kid from Oregon. He's 6'3", about 240, 250. He can really run, block. He's physical. Not your ideal size. Looks more like an H-back than he does a wide receiver. I mean, as a tight end, because some of these guys is really big nowadays. But yeah. But hey, you know, the bottom line is, man, tight ends is the easiest throw in the world. You got 6'6" tight ends out there. All they got to do is catch it, man. They have no problem getting open, and I don't know why teams don't. The Steelers are one that loves to incorporate the 2 or 3 tight ends. You know, at least they have in the past, and I don't know why more teams don't do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, hold on a second here, Smokin' Jim. I'm trying to get the list up for the free agent tight ends, which I don't think the Steelers may not go for. I do know, I think they're going to end up, my predictions are this. The following players I think are going to go, Smokin' Jim, and you can agree or disagree and come up with your list. But my list is Patrick Queen. I say you get rid of Trader Highsmith and let Herbert play his spot. Okay, you get rid of Queen because I hear he's bad news. I keep hearing there's some rumors out there that he was bad. He's bad in the locker room. People don't like him. I heard defensive players have gone to Art Rooney II, knocked on his door, and said they want him out because he's not a good team player or something. I don't know. I'm hearing that story, and maybe a few other guys. I don't see Broderick Jones coming back, but that neck fusion, that's tough. That back fusion, that kind of thing, that's a tough thing. I don't see him coming back right away. So, you know, Steelers got to make some moves, and they got to cut some fat. What do you think about that?
Well,
Jonnu Smith, too. Jonnu Smith got to go, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with that.
Okay.
You know, there's going to be people going offensively based on the new offensive philosophy. It's not going to fit what they do. The biggest problem Steelers are going to run into is what to do with Kenneth Gainwell. Number one, they only got one back on their team, Jalen Warren. They blew it with the rookie Caleb Johnson.
Yeah, that was on me.
So,
I was the one that told them to draft it, so they did.
But
you know,
but he definitely doesn't fit into. Caleb definitely doesn't fit into the West Coast offense. And I think Kenneth Gainwell has priced itself out of the Steelers' pocketbook. He's a free agent running back. I think he's going to get an offer that's beyond what the Steelers were willing to pay, much beyond. So they are not looking at running backs. So this is a pretty good year for running backs, man. There's a kid out of Kentucky that I really like.
Yeah.
And, you know, who may be there in the second or third round. You know, Penn State got a couple running backs. Notre Dame got a couple running backs. That's pretty special. So, again, you know, it just all depends on
Penn State,
you know,
Penn State got 2 running backs in the draft too.
Yeah, Penn State got two running backs that was tremendously productive. Notre Dame got 2 running backs. So, The Steelers only got one back. I don't think Gainwell will re-sign, even if Aaron Rodgers re-signs. I think he figures he has one opportunity to cash in, and this is his opportunity. He's going to go to the highest bidder, and I think somebody's going to outbid the Steelers for him.
Yeah. I don't think the Steelers are going to go into a bidding war for Gainwell. They may have to go into the draft and get somebody, or get one of the free agents that are out there. Get somebody that you can probably bring in for maybe half the cost or whatever. Somebody will be willing to come in on the cheap. It might like to play for Mike McCarthy. Just like the ones that used to like to play for Mike Tomlin and blew it in the playoffs. So but like you said, the team let him down. I mean, all the guys. Oh, I like playing for Mike Tomlin. Well, you know what? When the going got tough, you didn't get going. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So free agent tight end Smokin Jim, Travis Kelce. I believe he's going to marry Taylor Swift and retire. I don't know if he wants 17. His cap hit $17 million. David Njoku. We had Lou Marconi on last week, and he said Njoku's available. If the Steelers are smart, they would bring this guy in. What do you think? But I think he'll stay with the Browns because of the offensive coming in, the new of Todd Monken. Go ahead.
No, I don't think the Browns are going to re-sign him. They would be smart to do so, but I would jump on him in a minute.
Yeah,
I would jump on him in a minute.
His cap hit's only $13 million. All right.
Yeah,
so
I would jump. I'd be all over that.
This guy here is pretty good, and he's only $10 million, and I bring him here. Taysom Hill from the Saints. I don't know what happened down there, but he's always been a good tight end and a nightmare for teams. So let me see here. Dallas Goodhart from Dallas. Well, his name's Dallas, but he's from Philly, the Philly Eagles, and he's $10 million too. So we got some $10 million guys here, Smokin Jim. And how about Taylor Higbee, the tight end from I think he's with the Eagles. Oh, no, the Ravens, I believe. He's with somebody here. I'm trying to see who he's with. I think he's with the Ravens. Tyler Higbee. He's been, when you needed a catch, he was there. What do you think?
Yeah. Again,
I can't.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm trying to see what this is. Oh, he's with the Rams, Tyler Higbee. He's with the Rams. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. There's so many good ones. First of all, you got to get rid of that dead weight Connor Hayward. You got to get rid of him, man. You got to start there.
Oh, Jim, you're all over the Haywards, Jim. Come on, take your L, Jim. Come on, Jim.
And you got to move on from Jonnu Smith, and that'll create an opportunity. Like I said, my first choice would be the kid from Cleveland Browns. I've always liked him. So.
All right, here. I got one for you that's only $6 million, and he's not a bad tight end. Zach Ertz, Washington, the Commanders. Zach Ertz is not a bad tight end. He got some good ones here, Smokin Jim.
Yeah.
New England's Austin Hooper. Yeah, he's only 31, and he only wants $5 million. So his cap hit. The Saints got another one. Foster Morrell, tight end, $4 million. Let's see. Adam Troutman, Denver. He's not a bad tight end either. So you got some guys here that are actually pretty good. Tyler Conklin from the LA Chargers. Noah Fant here from Cincinnati. Noah Fant. I remember when he got drafted by $2 million. Yeah. He's only 28 years old. So, I mean, you do have Mo Alley Cox from Indianapolis, tight end. Here, Darren Waller from Miami, former Raider. $2 million is only his cap hit. I would try for him. He's tall. Catches the ball. Ian Thomas, tight end from the Raiders. I don't know if he wants to stay with Clint Kubiak or not. John Fitzpatrick from Green Bay. Felipe Franks from Atlanta. He might be getting out of town because of Stefanski coming in. Stone Smart from the Jets. Here, the Jets got three of them. Andrew Beck, he's a fullback converted tight end. And then Jelani Woods. He's not a bad tight end. Just on the wrong team. Robert Tonyan from Kansas City, the Los Angeles, the Rams, Nick Vinette, Pharaoh Brown from Arizona, Denver's Mercedes Lewis. There you go. but he's 41 years old, Smoking Jim. I don't know if the Steelers are going to want him. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, he's the oldest one in this group here, I think. So, you know, and then Donald Parham, Steelers, $1 million, age 28. You know, so we saw him in preseason last year a little bit. Quentin Morris, tight end from Jacksonville. Oh, man, they got a big list here. How about Charlie Kohler from Baltimore? Let's see. Isaiah Likely, Baltimore. Wow. I mean,
Likely, got to love Likely. There's no way
Yeah.
Baltimore's going to let him out.
Well, Connor
no way.
Hayward's on this list. Connor Hayward is on this list.
Yeah, get rid of him. But
Yeah.
likely, if Baltimore allows Likely to leave, man, the Steelers should jump all over that.
Oh yeah, they should. You're exactly correct. All right, we're gonna wrap this up here with Steeler talk for a minute here. Next week, tune into the Sports Corner show. We have a dynamic show for you next week. Next week, I have a gentleman coming on, and hold on, I'll get his name in a minute here. I got to pop it up here on my list here. So there you go. Let's see where we're at here. Abe Gordon will be joining us next week. He covers Atlanta Falcons football, and he's going to talk with us about Kevin Stefanski, and we are going to have someone from each of the teams that have a new coach. I'm bringing somebody on to discuss with us what's going on. I'm going to reach out to El Curtis from Amped Up Sports. He covers the Giants. What's the talk about John Harbaugh up there? You know, in Arizona, I can bring on a few people from there. So, you know, stay tuned here to Sports Corner. We're going to have those guys come on and tell us what's going on with all these coaches, these new coaches in the league. And also, don't forget too, we're going to try. Based on we may have to take a couple weeks off here because I got to fill in for Brandon Keeler on the Sports Nuts Network on their show on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we may have to take a couple days or a couple weeks off here. But we're going to try to come on Thursdays or another day during the week maybe. And I want to get some guys on from every team to talk about their end of the draft. All right, and we'll have Leo Haggerty come on and talk about Tampa. Miami, I got a guy down in Miami. I got a bunch of guys I can get on here for all 32 teams, talk about the draft. Stay tuned to Sports Corner. Lots going on. RW Media Productions, lots going on. Radio shows, I got some announcements to make before we all go here and everything else. But Abe Gordon will join us, and then at 4:30, we will be joined by Danny Alexander. Dan Alexander is David Alexander. I'm sorry. David Alexander is the writer for Amped Up Sports, and he covers the LA Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders, so we can get the insight on what's going on with Clint Kubiak down there. Is he going to clean house? Is Geno Smith gone? Hey, there you go, Smoking Jim. Steelers need a backup quarterback. There's Geno Smith. Hey, you know what? That might not be a bad bargain idea. I mean, seriously.
No way.
I'm just kidding.
No way. I never liked this boy couldn't lead silent prayer.
Oh, yeah, I know. You're right. You're exactly
correct. He had
a
couple good years, so I give him credit. He had a couple good years. So.
Yeah, it's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah.
Well, it's the truth, though. It's better to be lucky than good. I mean, he was lucky down in Seattle. He had Dave Canellis as his offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, so he got lucky. Dave Canellis is good at working with a quarterback. But now Canellis is gone. The system's gone. And they traded the Seahawks traded him to the Raiders, and he didn't do anything with the Raiders. So there you go. Oh, by the way, I want to in the world of ridiculous rumors here, Smoking Jim, real quick. It says here from the world of ridiculous rumors that the Pittsburgh Steelers are talking to bring back Kenny Pickett.
Hey, you see what Malik Willis is being offered between 30 and 40 million a year.
That's
Kenny Pickett is probably being offered about 400,000 a year.
Yeah, exactly. He might have to go drive a cab or something part time or do something because that's not a lot for him. And his wife, oh no way. You know what I mean?
She'll probably leave him.
Yeah, that could be not enough money. Why do you think Mason Rudolph's wife or girlfriend left him? Remember that? Because he wouldn't make
Oh
enough
yeah,
money. You know?
forgot about that.
Yeah. So, all right, Smokin' Jim. We got to get into some announcements here, but first, Pirates have a winning record in spring training. They're not doing too bad. They're 9-2 currently right now. I don't know what's going on with the game today. I'll find out later on. Penguins are doing pretty well for themselves, despite the fact that Sidney Crosby is out and still out for a couple more weeks with his injuries from the Olympics. Real quick, Smokin' Jim, Pirates and Penguins. Go ahead.
You said it all, man. They're winning, man. I couldn't be more proud, man. Hope they continue that.
Yeah, I told everybody about Dan Muse. Nobody believed me. He's a defensive coach, and now it's starting to pay off. It's starting to work. I remember when Kevin Constantine was the head coach of the Penguins, and everyone complained because it was a boring defensive system. But he won games. Mario didn't like him because it was a boring system, so he wanted somebody he could bring in when he came back. And a lot of people forget about that. I didn't. Okay. And so therefore, and by the way, too, Smokin' Jim, when I had my sports radio show on WEA 10 a.m. WEDO back in 1999, I talked to Mario Lemieux's agent, and Mario Lemieux blew me off to come on my show. He said he was going to come on. He blew me off. So never came on. How you like that, Smokin' Jim? You there, Smokin' Jim? Hello? What do you do? Hang up?
Yeah, that's shocking, man. But it ain't the first time I heard something like that happening.
Yeah, especially to me.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it is. Okay, we're going to get into some announcements here. What's going on in the life and the world of RW Media Productions, and all kinds of different shows going on, radio and here on social media. Don't forget, every Tuesday we're here. I believe after next week, we're going to be off for at least a week or two because I have to fill in for Brandon Keeler on the Sports Nuts Network. So, and plus, don't forget Monday through Friday on the KFCE radio in Terrell, Texas, 95.5 FM, the Ralph's Opinion Show, 1 o'clock Central Time, Monday through Friday. Don't forget to tune in every Monday through Friday. And Friday, we do the good, the bad, and the ugly of President Trump. And then we also do a top 10 on Friday as well. And I read off all your emails throughout the week. I want to thank you for that. The mailbag, RalphWilliams737@gmail.com. Please don't forget to participate or check out the website, www.rwmediaproductions.com. All right. Also, don't forget tomorrow. Here we go. All right. And every Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m., WDB Radio, 860 AM, Philadelphia. My guest, Paul Perrone. Paul is the president of a club in Tampa that has Philly fans in it. It's called Tampadelphia, which is Philadelphia Eagles fans in Tampa. And what they do is they get together and they go and they watch Philadelphia games and they congregate and have fun. And it's like a little club. But Paul's going to join me tomorrow, 3 to 4 p.m. on 860 AM WWDB, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the city of brotherly love. And I want to thank them for the brotherly love that they've been giving me so far. All right. Don't forget Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Here we go. Ralph Williams Show. And then Sunday morning, 10 to 11 a.m., 12:50 a.m. The Answer 92.5 on the FM down the 12:50 The Answer The Answer PGH.com as well. And don't forget to check my social media platforms for some shorts. And so don't forget to do that as well. Also, I just recently did a Ralph Report today. Check that out because tomorrow night I debut my new show, The Way I See It, Delmarva Edition. And I'm very frustrated with some people down here. So when I understand there's some groups down here and some forum groups that dislike me. They don't like what I have to say. They think I'm insulting businesses and things like that down here where I live in Berlin, Maryland. And I just told them where to take it. Because you know why? I'm not here to do that. I'm here because you the business owners, are ripping people off down here. You're making crappy food and charging people a lot of money, and that's unacceptable to me. I've been in the service business, customer service business for 35 years before I had to retire in 2016 because of my health. And I'm going to tell you this right now. All right. Since I moved down here, we don't order out that much. We don't eat at the restaurants that much because the food is not that good. If you're going to charge me $50 for a steak or $100 for a steak, you better that steak better be well quality. You understand what I'm getting at? And then I get these insults from people who are trying to say to me, well, you don't support local businesses. All you support is the tourists. I said, no, I don't. I support local businesses. I've been in local businesses. I've had local people here fixing my house. I've had, I do support local businesses. So don't you dare say that to me. So tomorrow night's, the way I see it, the Omar Edition show tomorrow is going to be very, very interesting because I feel insulted by the fact that you would even go there. You groups in the area and some of the forum groups are angry with me. Well, that's too bad. All right, that's just too bad. So check out that Ralph report, and I'll explain everything to you there. It's on YouTube and whatnot. All right. Next, don't forget Saturday as well as part of the triple header. Ralph Williams Saturday. At the Saturday Sports Show on Saturday, and then also on Saturday with me, Ralph Williams, Smokin, Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree, 2 to 3 p.m., 12:50 a.m. The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial. And don't forget to tune in. This week we focus on free agent wide receivers and wide receivers in the draft as well. And don't forget the breaking news I said today, and I'm going to put that up in a second here. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Breaking news. I think this is it. I had a breaking news one in here and it's gone. Yeah, it is. Okay, I'll have to get the other one up soon. But breaking news today, Tori Verdi, the head coach of the Pitt women's basketball team, has been fired. Finally, the athletic department gets a backbone and fires Tori Verdi, who's the women's basketball coach, and also is involved in a lawsuit with some former players who claim that he was, inappropriate with them or mistreating them or something to that effect. I don't even care what it is. And I mentioned this on the Sports Corner radio show on Saturday, that there were two to three, I think it was 3 other schools that automatically fired their coach as soon as they heard that. Pitt waited and waited and waited and waited, and now they're saying they fired him because of bad performance as a basketball coach. You know what, Pitt? You're full of it because that's not what happened. You know what happened. You should have cleaned it up a long time. You should have cleaned it up when it first started, just like everybody else did. Smokin' Jim, final thoughts before we go. Go ahead. You there, Smokin' Jim?
Hey, sorry about that, Ralph. I tell you what, man, you pretty much covered it all, man. I was a fan just listening to you, brother. So you closed it out well.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. And likewise with you, Smokin' Jim. Anytime you tell me something about an athlete, you're always right, at least most of the time.
Hey, thank you, Ralph.
Yeah, you won't have to take an L.
My man.
All right, coming up at 5 o'clock, the Wrestle Talk Show. We break down and dissect. Oh, wait till you see what I have for you. What happened on Raw last night? Oh my gosh, the fallout from Elimination Chamber. Oh my, the division. Nah, no more. We'll talk. Coming up 5 o'clock, Wrestle Talk. Until next time, for Smokin' Jim Frazier, I'm Ralph Williams. Have yourself a great one, and please, by all means, be safe. Thank you.